welcome to the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And I'm not doing it alone. My name is Amina Ochelabi. I am your host for today. And I have here with me Mr. Peter Anasike, a political and social analyst. And don't forget, here on the recap, we discuss some of the major issues that trended during the week. It's a way of keeping you updated with the news. And don't forget, we are streaming live on YouTube. So you can as well join the conversation on YouTube by dropping a comment. I'm going to take that later before we end the program. It's starting now from 4 o'clock till 6 p.m. So join us live on YouTube on VOP 90.3 live. Now let's dive into the headlines that have made waves during the week. We start with worse than before, says Shore. Blast Tinubu for mismanaging Nigeria's resources. And I take no moral right to reject Tinubu in 2027, says Shehu Sani to Northerners. Federal government fails to crash food prices 180 days after promise. Southwest movement gains momentum against non-Yoruba First Lady. And now we have, we can win 2027 election without merger, Labour Party. And lastly, media mogul and DSS officers escape near fatal encounter with soldiers in Anambra. Don't forget, you're still listening to Voice of the You're still listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. So let's go into the headlines, the story proper. Let's start with Shore criticizes Tinubu administration over resource mismanagement. Now, this is a brief news. Human rights activist and politician Omoyele Shore has accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of mismanaging Nigerians' resources and failing to address critical economic and infrastructural challenges. Speaking with newsmen, Shore highlighted rising poverty and deteriorating infrastructure, claiming funds saved from fuel subsidy removal have not been used to improve the country's development. He also described the situation as unprecedented. Shore said, and I quote, "Poverty levels are the worst I've seen in my lifetime, and infrastructure remains in a deplorable state. Promises to reinvest subsidy savings into economic growth and prosperity have not materialized." He said he cited his recent visit to Ondo State, noting the poor condition of roads and widespread hardship. Now, the activist further criticized the administration for leaving Nigerians worse off than before Tinubu assumed office in 2023. Now, his remarks comes as concerns grow over Nigeria's estimated $100 billion annual infrastructure deficit, which continues to impede progress in key sectors like transportation, healthcare, and education. So now, before I go to you, Mr. Anasike, I want to reiterate a statement here again about what he said. There is a total mismanagement of the resources of the country. And I'm not saying this because that is what people want to hear. It is because we were told as of a year ago, when they took over power, the first decision they made was that they are going to remove subsidy, and that whatever they saved from subsidy would be applied to managing the economy better, to bring about prosperity, to bring about development. He said, and the state of road infrastructure is the worst he has ever seen in his lifetime. And he said, I have not seen poverty like I've seen until recent times. Now the question is, Shore have emphasized that the Arewa Consultative Forum that the Arewa Consultative Forum applied equal scrutiny to both Buhari and Tinubu's administration. So can you outline the specific instances or actions taken by the forum to hold this administration accountable for what they've done so far?
By the Arewa Consultative Forum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Buhari was like a god to the north. Understand? And the Bible said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. So the north closed their eyes while Buhari was in power. Understand? And their eyes now opened when power shifted to the other side of the country. That's when Tinubu became president. The noise that they have made in the past 1 year, they didn't make half of the noise in the 8 years of Buhari. And it is a fact that it is the carcass of Buhari that Tinubu inherited. The economy was almost dead when Tinubu came on board in 2023. But I'm not trying to exonerate Tinubu from the Buhari administration, because what we have now is a continuation of Tinubu's of Buhari's government. And Tinubu said that he will continue from where Buhari stopped. So what we are having now is a Buhari-Tinubu administration. It has not ended, it continued. So Tinubu saw the rot in Buhari's administration, but he did not want to criticize Buhari so that Buhari would not deny him candidate in 2023. So he knew that the economy was heading in the wrong direction, but he kept mute. He doesn't want Buhari to move against his own interest, because there was agreement, after you it will be me. That was the agreement that Tinubu reached with Buhari. So Tinubu was able to close his eyes and don't want to talk of all the things that was going on under Buhari. So that's why I'm not pitying him for what is going on now. And he even told the Nigerians not to pity him, that he asked for the job. So now coming back to what Showore said, nobody in Nigeria has seen this level of poverty. Even you, Amina, you've never seen this 100,000. So what he's saying is it's not. He wasn't speaking as an opposition. He was hitting the hammer on the head. That Nigerians had never seen what is going on in this country as we speak, and it's true. But instead of helping matters, these people continue to mismanage the NATO resources that is coming. On May 2023, when Tinubu came on board, he said that he has removed subsidy, and that the money that they were supposed to be using for subsidy will now be using in the development of the economy, but that is not happening. Understand? The benefits, the so-called benefits that the people are supposed to be getting from the removal of subsidy, Nigerians are not seeing it. So Showore was right on what he said.
Where are they diverting the funds to? Where is it going into?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
So I should know, because I'm in the presidency. The issue is this: they are not using that money for public good. They are not using that money for public good, which means it is going into private pockets.
So Shaware also highlighted that Tinubu's, he said people who are supposed to jail subsidy cabals are owners of the racket. What does he mean by that?
Yes, because most of them in the presidency has interest in the downstream sector. Most of them in the presidency, understand, have interest in the downstream sector of the economy. That is fuel. So they have been benefiting from the subsidy for many years now, and they are now in charge. So how do you expect a thief to jail himself? Understand? So that's what Tinubu was saying, that those who are supposed to prosecute others have been complicit, have been compromised, have been in that business for a very long time. So it's a fact. It is the same people who we are benefiting, who we are profiting from the subsidy that are now running the government. So there cannot be any investigation. Because you cannot set up an investigation to investigate yourself. You know what you did.
Now we have the Port Harcourt refinery working. We have Dangote refinery and we have Warri refinery at the moment.
As we heard.
Yes. Okay. According to a source, a named source, I was told, we heard that it is what they give the media.
Yes, because they can go and import fuel of no detail in Port Harcourt refinery and in Warri refinery and begin to refine tanks again.
Now, all the refineries repaired does not produce up to 1 million BPD. Do you also think that, according to the federal government, as these refineries are working, do you think it is going to make the economic situation in Nigeria better?
If all the refineries are working, as we read in the papers, the price of fuel shouldn't be selling what it is selling now. If Port Harcourt refinery is working and the fuel there came from there, understand me, and the Warri is working and the petrol came from there, understand? So fuel is not supposed to be selling above 1,000 naira. But I'm telling you that this is what Fenda called the government magic. Understand? There could be a situation that fuel could be imported, understand, of node in Port Harcourt and the Warri or the refinery, and they will reload it again into tanks here in the country. Understand? So, but if Port Harcourt refinery is working and the fuel was refined there, Warri refinery is working and the fuel is refined there, fuel is not supposed to be selling above 1,000 naira. Understand me? And the number of tankers that we are seeing at Apapa Wharf now, we're not supposed to be seeing it. Do you understand me? Because they are supposed to be going to Port Harcourt to load and to Warri to load. But we are still seeing the same number of tankers that we were seeing when Port Harcourt refinery was not working and Warri refinery is not working. Go to Oshodi Apapa Road and see.
The federal government, the NNPC, and the federal government rather, have come to debunk the rumor that the refineries are working and they're in good conditions. What do you say to this?
Do you believe government?
And they also come out to say,
do you believe federal government?
They also,
answer that question.
They also say it is also a propaganda against the opposition parties, saying that the refineries are not working because they want to bring out this administration. Because they're showing us pictures, they're showing us videos. Remember the Labour Party chairman Ajero visited Perry and confirmed that the refinery is working.
Ajero went to Port Harcourt.
Yes.
and confirm that it is working.
Yes. He was at Port Harcourt and confirmed that Port Harcourt refinery is working fine. So now the APC have come to say that, oh no, this is at the work of the opposition parties. They want to bring us down. They are the ones. They are the ones saying they debunked the rumor that these refineries are working fine. Tinubu's administration is working, and we are likely going to a stage whereby fuel is going to be sold for 500 naira.
Let me tell you a situation, because when I talk, I mention names. Understand?
Okay.
In 2013, I was a member of a World Bank team on MDG, Millennium Development Goal. That when Emmanuel Udagan was the governor of Delta State, I was among a World Bank team that toured the country at that time, and we visited Delta State to see the projects of the governor. Understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Because most of us, that's just white people and coming from the southwest.
Mm-hmm.
They have this impression that everybody in the bus was a Yoruba.
Mm-hmm.
Understand me? So we boarded the government bus from Delta, going to Ugendi North. On the way, a staff of Delta State government was calling. We are going to Ugendi to commission a borehole. Mm-hmm. Understand me?
Yes.
We are going to Ugendi to commission a borehole. On the bus there, one of the staff of Delta State government called somebody in Ugendi, where we are going there to commission that project, and buy 5 liters of fuel, put in a generator, and pump some liters of fuel into the tank, so that when we get there, they will open the tap and the water will rush out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand this?
Yes, I'm with you.
That he called somebody waiting there already, buy 5 liters of fuel, put in a generator, pump some liters of water into the overhead tank, so that when we get there, that's when we arrive,
mm-hmm.
when the governor's team and the World Bank team arrive, they will open the tank. They will open the tap so that the water will come out.
Okay.
Understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, 5 liters of fuel. Then pump some few liters that's on the overhead tank. Understand me?
Okay.
So can you imagine this? So I heard it because they were speaking in Igbo. I heard it because they were speaking in Igbo. Because they thought that everybody there was from the southwest. So now, when we got there, they opened the tap and the water came out. Mind you, since that borehole was finished, it had been empty. Now, see all the 419 that they thought that they have done to us. Because people will go and write that the borehole had been commissioned, that water is running. So anything can happen in Nigeria. They can also do Ajero, that same thing.
Okay, so let's move to another story. Shehu Sani challenges northern critics of Tinubu's tax reforms. The news says former Kaduna Central Senator Shehu Sani has called out northern critics of President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills, asserting that they lack the moral right to reject Tinubu in 2027 after failing to hold former President Muhammadu Buhari accountable during his administration. Sani, a PDP chieftain, urged the North to reassess its stance and focus on how northern appointees in Tinubu's government could contribute to regional development. Sani highlighted the failures of Buhari's 8-year administration, pointing to unfulfilled promises such as the Mambila Power Project, road construction, and agricultural initiatives. He also criticized the silence of northern leaders during that period, questioning their current position to Tinubu's policies. The controversy follows Tinubu's introduction of tax reform bills, which face backlash from northern stakeholders, including governors and traditional rulers. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed was quoted saying, "The current tax reform is not only hasty but unfair in its design. It risks concentrating revenue streams at the center while depriving states like Bauchi of the funds needed to cater to our people. If this continues, we will have no choice but to show our true colors." Quoted. Critics now argue the reforms disproportionately centralize revenue at the federal level. Disadvantages states like Bauchi. Meanwhile, Arewa Consultative Forum Secretary General Murtala Aliyu has also dismissed claims that northern criticisms of Tinubu's is rooted in regional bias, insisting the same scrutiny was applied to Buhari's administration. Now, the question is, Shehu Sani criticized northern leaders for their silence during the Buhari's administration while opposing Tinubu's policies today. What do you think? What specific steps do you believe these leaders should take to constructively address these regional development challenges under the current administration?
It is a very good question, and I want to bring all sides, everybody on the table.
Okay.
One, to start with, I am a strong believer, I'm a strong proponent of the tax reform bill. I support it 100%. It is one bill that will move this country forward. I support it 100%, understand? Then, and if I'm asked the only thing that Tinubu has done in his almost 2 years in office, because in the next 2 months, that is March.
Yes.
Next month 25th is his 2 years of an election. Understand me? So, if I'm asked the only thing that the one thing that Tinubu has done that is good, I would say it is the tax reform bill, because I have gone through it, and I know that it is one thing that will move this country forward. Then on Shehu Sani, Shehu Sani was criticizing Buhari government because El Rufai was Buhari's Man Friday. Understand me? El Rufai was Buhari's right-hand man. And El Rufai and Shehu Sani are not in good terms. In 2019, it was El Rufai that chased Shehu Sani out of the Senate. El Rufai used Obasani, the current governor, to replace Shehu Sani in the Senate. So Shehu Sani was very, very bitter. And because of the relationship between El Rufai and Buhari, Shehu Sani was out of the system. Understand me?
Okay.
So he was constantly attacking. Right now, the table has turned. Tinubu is now president, and El Rufai and Tinubu are not on the same page. So Shehu Sani has now seen an opportunity to become Tinubu's friend.
Okay.
Understand me? So this is sheer psychophancy. This is sheer psychophancy. Shehu Sani is never a good person. Why he is supporting Tinubu now is because Tinubu and El Rufai are not on the same page. Understand me? So for you to know what is going on in this country, it is all about their interests, and their interests are known. So why Shehu Sani is now supporting Tinubu, following Tinubu bumper to bumper, is because El Rufai and Tinubu are not in good terms. Some time ago, they invited Shehu Sani to come and make a speech in Aso Rock. But in the 8 years that Buhari was in power, El Rufai Shehu Sani did not touch Aso Villa Gate. So you see it, Nigerians only complain when the system is not benefiting.
Stands against the tax reform bills in the northern part of the country stands against the tax reform bills in the northern part of the country.
So I will get to that.
Okay.
Banda Mohammed wants to run in 2027.
Okay.
And so for you to run, you have to be in the media, you have to be in the news. So that's why he is carrying this tax reform on his head. Understand? And showing their true conduct simply means showing that they have the numbers. They will reject Tinubu in 2027. That is what he means. But why I say that they are telling us about the tax or the reform bill, in the present bill that we are using, derivation, that is the source of where a product is coming from, has only 20%. Only 20%. But in the reform bill, derivation has 60%. Do you see it? Now, if I'm a farmer and I'm producing a yam, in this present this thing now, I have only 20% benefit. Mind you, my land is being destroyed. I'm the chicken that is laying the golden egg, but I'm not enjoying this egg.
Okay.
But in this new tax reform bill, derivation has 60%, which means the people who are producing will be benefiting from what they are producing. Understand me?
Okay.
So if you are not happy, go and start producing your own and start taking a 60%. So it is governors who know that this tax reform bill will reduce the money that they are getting that are complaining.
Okay, Voice of the People 90.3 FM. You're still on the program, The Recap. And don't forget, we're streaming live on YouTube. All you have to do is head to the YouTube page and type VOP 90.3 FM. And join the conversation there. I'm going to be taking charts from the YouTube as soon as it's 5 o'clock. And I'll be opening the phone lines. And of course, I'm going to give out the numbers on WhatsApp. Join the conversation. And please, you don't come in and tell us what we're not discussing about in the studio. That is why you have to listen and follow us along. We expatiate. We talk about this. It's just making headlines. So the phone numbers to call on is 0700 903 903 903. I'm not opening the phone lines now until 5 o'clock. And WhatsApp to drop your chats or your inputs on any of the topics we're talking about, 0817 175 6338. And head over to our YouTube channel and drop your comments there. I'm going to be taking them as soon as it's 5 o'clock. So we are still talking on the topic, Shehu Sani challenges and northern critics of Tinubu's tax reforms. And one more question for you, Mr. Anasike. Now, the Arewa Consultative Forum stated that the criticisms of Tinubu's administration is not regionally biased. What does it mean? And how do you think this forum plan to ensure a consistent and objective approach in holding both the past and the current administration accountable?
The truth is that many governors, even in the southwest, even in the southeast, even in the south, are not happy about it. But they don't have that courage to speak out. I said earlier that it is governors who are not happy, whose revenue will decrease, that are protesting, understand? But some are quiet, some are murmuring. Some are murmuring, they don't have the courage that to speak out. But because Banda Mohammed has a presidential ambition, he has to be in the news. That's why he is carrying it on his head. The same thing with Zundum of Borno State.
Okay, let's take a look at the next story. Food prices remain high. Federal government fails to deliver on promise. Now, the news in detail says 6 months after the federal government pledged to reduce food prices, Nigerians continue to grapple with skyrocketing costs. In July 2024, Agriculture and Food Security Minister Abubakar Kyari outlined measures to stabilize prices within 180 days, including the suspension of tariffs on key food imports like maize, rice, and wheat, as well as plans to restock the National Strategic Food Reserve. Now, despite these assurances, implementation of the proposed measures has yet to begin, and food prices have soared. A bag of rice, which is sold for 85,000 naira in mid 2024, now costs 110,000 naira, while the price of groundnut oil has tripled. Festive celebrations were dampened as the cost of live chickens jumped from 15,000 in December 2023 to 30,000 a year later. I'm going to contribute mine because the last time this December, I priced a turkey. It was 150,000 naira, a small one. But still continue with the news. We're going to come back to that analysis. Nigerians are calling for accountability as the government remains silent on the delay in executing its promised reforms. The lingering crisis raised concern about the effectiveness of policy measures aimed at addressing food insecurity and inflation. So now let's talk about this. Why do you think the federal government failed to implement the promises being made to the citizens to stabilize food prices?
That's why, for me, those people who died in Ibadan,
the stampede
in Ibadan, in Anambra, in Abuja, they should have sued the Minister of Agriculture. They ought to have sued the federal
They are
government.
poor people. How do they have the resources to sue the federal government?
There's a way of doing this. Understand? If you don't have money, get some councils. Understand? Let them go for you. Whatever they get, you share. Understand me? So, but that's not even the question. Federal government, I said it when this thing happened, that government should be held responsible for the death of those people, those children that died in Ibadan, those widows that died in Anambra, and the people that died in Abuja. Federal government should be held responsible for it. And this is one of the reasons, because if they had implemented this, hunger wouldn't have been as much as it is.
You heard what I said, though, that a chicken that I buy, a chicken is
30,000 naira.
Okay, we estimated data as from 2023 to 2024. But imagine a live turkey I saw, and I was thirsty for turkey. And I'm like, okay, madam, how much you said this turkey? And I heard 150,000 naira. And I'm like, what is going on here?
Even
I better become thirsty.
a few years ago, a cow is not up to 150,000 naira. A cow, a full cow, is not up to 150,000.
Now,
So,
do you think there's a timeline for this action to address this ongoing crisis? Look, for example, we just talked about the stampede happening in the 3 states in the country: Ibadan, Anambra, and where is the third? And Abuja. Now, we have a timeline for if the government does not talk about this, does not find a viable solution to this food crisis in the country.
the timeline has passed. This is that 150 days was a product of NSAS, and I mean end bad governance, because one of the demands of that end bad governance was the high cost of food. So federal government in a hurry, because they have been in a hurry in everything that they are doing, and that's why things are going wrong. They don't think anything through. Subsidy was in a hurry. So whatever they are, that's why policy somersault every day. So when the end bad governance, one of the things that they talk about was the high cost of food in the country.
Yeah.
So government now come up with this 150 days that they are going to give a waiver to food importers so that they can import at a lower rate. Announce, because importers would always sell at the import. But they never implemented that policy. They never implemented that policy. That's why what happened in December happened. So when they did not, the issue is this: the role of a president is not a superman. What a president is supposed to do is to gather people who are more intelligent than him in different fields. Understand me? And put them there to be working. That's the job of a leader. Knowing how pick good tenants. Understand me? Let them begin that to work. But here, appointments are based on my people, the people that I know, those that help me to rig elections, those that will help me to rig the next election. That's how appointments are based in the country. It's not based on skills. It's not based on competencies. Understand me? What a president needs to do...
Do you mean, when you tell that appointment is not based on skills, how do you mean? Do you mean that the president will just say, okay, you, I like you, let me just give you the position of a minister?
You have been loyal to me for so many years. Understand me? Understand? You helped me win a River State. Okay. FCT minister. Understand me? It is not based. Then you help me to win Abia State in 2027 minister.
Can you give examples of this assertion these claims you just made now?
They are everywhere.
Okay.
What qualifies Nyesom Wike to be minister of FCT? What qualifies Adena Abo to be minister of power? What qualifies Festus Kiyamo to be minister of aviation? Kiyamo is going to run for governor of Delta State in 2027. We are no more children in this country. They can deceive those who they can deceive, but we know what is going on in the country.
So now, what's the alternative solution, according to you, or immediate intervention?
The immediate solution, one, reduce import duties so that importers will begin to import at a cheaper rate. That is number one. Then number two, disarm Fulani herdsmen so that farms. That is number two. Because you cannot sow a seed today and it will grow today. That's why the import duties is number one.
Now, talking about security concerns on agriculture, we're still coming back to insecurity. We have a story to analyze on that. Now, President Tinubu have come out to say that, hey, the Southwest is clear of herdsmen. We have the farmers now go to the farm. They don't have any issue with Fulani herdsmen.
Oh, the president said so.
Yes, he said so.
Did he go to Ondo State? Did the president visit Ondo State? These people are everywhere. They are in Ondo. They are in Oyo. They are in Osun. Understand? So, for farmers to go back to the farm, these Fulani herdsmen carrying AK-47 must be disarmed. There's no two ways about it.
Okay, you're still listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and here, your number one voice for the people. So we're talking about issues that has made headlines during the week. And right now we're talking about why food prices remain high and federal government fails to deliver on their promises to Nigerians. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, with the food prices continue to rise despite government assurances and this and that, how does the Agriculture and the Food Security Ministry plan to restore public confidence and tackle inflation?
They have no answer to it. This is not that the first time. At the first time that said that they cleared the...
They could be listening. They could be listening. We could give them an advice.
At the first time, they said that they have declared the emergency on food.
Mm-hmm.
I said this is a waste of time. Understand me? And they clearly it became a waste of time. Declaring a state of emergency on food, agriculture, why farmers cannot go to the farm? How can those food come out? So the only step is to disarm these Fulani herdsmen. Apart from meat, nothing again. Federal government should stop import duties so that there can be importers will be bringing in food at a very reduced cost. Once these Fulani herdsmen are still going about with their arms, there cannot be agriculture in this country. They will keep on deceiving themselves. So, do you know how people go to farm these days?
How?
20 men, when they take their cutlasses, accompany one man to his own farm.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? Another day, those 20 men will accompany one man, another person to his own farm. So 20 men who are supposed to have gone and farm on 20 different farm lands will now just go to one single farm because of these Fulani herdsmen. And even how can people with cutlass fight somebody with an AK-47? So federal government know what to do, but they don't want to do it.
Okay, let's go to the next story. Controversy over non-Yoruba First Lady sparks debate in Oyo politics. Now, a rising wave of criticisms is targeting Biola Adeoye, a PDP politician in Oyo State, due to his choice of spouse, married to Ifoma, an Igbo woman. Adeoye is facing backlash from Southwest youth on social media as speculation grows over his potential governorship bid. Critics argue that his family dynamics undermine Yoruba cultural identity, particularly noting that his children bear Igbo names. Adeoye has yet to officially declare his candidacy, but has hinted at his ambitions with calls for inclusive leadership. Now, in his first post on X in 2025 outlining his vision for Oyo State, was met with hostile comments dismissing his qualifications based on his wife's ethnicity. Some commenters have vowed to reject his governorship aspirations, citing a preference for Yoruba First Lady. The backlash echoes a broader cultural debate fueled by past instances of non-Yoruba women in prominent roles. Similar sentiments have been expressed against Dotun Sanusi, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, who is married to an Igbo man and Igbo woman, and who would ascend to the Olubadan throne. Adeoye's camp has acknowledged the criticisms, but has refrained from making a formal statement. As tension rises, the debate highlights deeper cultural concerns within Yoruba politics and identity. Now, talking about ethnicity and backlash on tribals, how does Biola Adeoye plan to address the criticism surrounding his wife's ethnicity, and how would this impact the potential bid for the Oyo governorship? But before you answer that, I'm going to quote his post, the post he put up on X in 2025, which says, "As we navigate our shared vision for your state, I am not entering this journey lightly. Leadership demands not only vision, but also integrity, competence, and a willingness to engage with the complexities of governance. My commitment is to build on the progress we have made by creating pathways for growth that prioritize excellence, inclusivity, and accountability. Now, the post was meant with opposing comments that disregarded any form of qualification if he has to govern Oyo State or not. But according to a majority of comments on that post, Adeoye is not qualified for having an Igbo wife. That was said. Now, somebody on an ex-user replied to that comment saying, "Your actions have spoken louder than any words ever could. You deliberately sideline your Yoruba heritage by giving your children only Igbo names, erasing the Yoruba identity in your lineage. Now you return to ask Yoruba woman for your votes so you can bring your Igbo wife into the government house to preside over the very people whose culture and identity you dismissed." And this one says, "Or your people reject you today, we will reject you tomorrow, we will reject you forever." Now the comments that got me is, "You see that first lady position, never again will it be occupied by any woman from Igbo land." What do you have to say to that?
Well, for me, it is quite unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
It is very, very unfortunate. And these are...
And let's forget that Governor Sheyi Makinde's wife is a Calabari woman.
Do you know Tinubu's wife is an Ishekiri woman? Onduremi Tinubu is not a Yoruba, she's from Ishekiri. Understand me? Zeke's son is a Bamidele Azikiwe. That's Nnamdi Azikiwe. One of his sons is by name Bamidele. Peter Obi's wife is not an Igbo. Are you aware of that? Peter Obi's wife is not an Igbo. Peter Obi's wife is from Akwa Ibom.
Now, sorry to quote you. Before this controversy began, the wife of the late governor of Ondo State, Betty Akeredolu, is an Igbo woman, and she's the immediate former first lady of Ondo State. She posted on X to refer to Yoruba people whom she presided over for about 6 years before her husband died in office, calling them
wrong.
Ofemanu. I don't know how to pronounce that, but did I pronounce it well? Meaning palm oil soup people.
Saying preside. First lady is not in the constitution of Nigeria, so you cannot say that she presided over a people. She has no power to preside over anybody because it is not in the constitution of Nigeria. And you are not voting for the woman, you are voting for the man. Those who voted for Tinubu did not vote for Remi Tinubu. Those who voted for Buhari did not vote for Aisha Buhari. You are voting for the candidate,
okay,
and not his wife.
Okay.
If a woman is running, you are voting for the woman, not her husband. Okay. So we should be very, very clear on this. And the truth is that, I mean, you don't even decide where you fall in love or who you fall in love to. You cannot make that a decision. Understand me? You cannot say, I must fall in love with a Yoruba man, or I must fall in love with a Hausa man. You don't have that power that to make that decision. You can say, I want to marry a Yoruba man, but you cannot say, I want to fall in love with a Yoruba man. Nobody decides who or where to fall in love unless he is faking it, unless she is faking it. Because once interest comes, it is no more that word, L-O-V-E, anymore. Understand? Okay. So for me, these are ethno-jingoists. Understand?
What do you have to say to that Ofe Manu? Because that was what started the whole controversy about this Igbo woman as the first lady married to a Yoruba governor.
So, do you see it as a derogatory words? Do you see it as a derogatory words? Hausa people call Igbos Anyamiri, which is an adulteration of Nyamumiri, give me what. So for me, that's just people who just want to make noise.
I also think that we should also address these issues among us as Nigerians, because I even heard in some of the South, Yoruba brides are not allowed. They don't marry. I don't know from Anambra, but I heard from someone say in Anambra, somebody I know says, I cannot marry a Yoruba woman.
This is
alternative. However, Ifo did not rule out the possibility of a merger, suggesting the party would evaluate any such proposal on their merit. Now, speculations over potential alliances have been fueled by recent comments from political figures, while PDP acting national chairman Umaru Damagum argued that a coalition is necessary to unseat the APC. Both Rabiu Kwakwanso of the NNPP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party have denied involvement in any coalition talks. Now, the debate over opposition strategies highlights growing anticipation for the 2027 elections as both parties navigate the political landscape in the face of the APC incumbency. Now, the question is, what strategies will the Labour Party employ to translate its grassroots support and lessons from the 2023 elections into a decisive victory in 2027 without forming coalition?
This is the biggest joke of the month. This is the biggest joke of the month. In 2023, Nigerians did not vote for Labour Party. Nigerians voted for Peter Obi. Labour Party cannot win councillorship on their own anywhere in Nigeria. Labour Party cannot win councillorship or councillor, not even State House of Assembly on their own. So in 2023, Nigerians voted for Peter Obi. And if Peter Obi leaves Labour Party today, Labour Party will go to where it belongs, dead and buried. So saying that they are confident is the biggest joke of the month. Labour Party minus Peter Obi is dead party.
Now let's read out the statement that says Labour Party didn't need any coalition in 2023 when it gathered millions of votes from Nigerians who wanted Labour Party to take over the leadership of the nation.
It was the Peter Obi that made it possible. It was Peter Obi. Labour Party was dead before Peter Obi breathed into it and it became a living being.
He also said, we know Labour Party has what it takes to win elections at the highest level, and we demonstrated that in 2023.
That's Peter Obi.
Okay, if elections were to hold again today, Labour Party would even do it bigger way because the government of the day has failed. Now, he said the idea of a coalition is not bad. If Labour Party is approached, the party will look into it to scrutinize, see the merit and its demerits.
Look, he's just making noise. He just making noise. Labour Party without Peter. If you begin to rank parties in the country, Labour Party will be about 72.
And Peter Obi has said, excuse me, I have distanced myself from this rumor, saying I am not a party to any of this agreement of this nature.
No, there's still time. By the end of this year, by the fourth quarter of this year, serious political realignment will be going on in this country, and Labour Party will be out of it. Labour Party will be out of it.
So are we saying that there's likely to be a merger with Labour Party in 2027 elections?
I'm not talking. I don't know of the Labour Party, but there will be a merger for 2027. Understand? But I don't know if Labour Party will be part of it, but obedience will be part of it.
So do you think Kwakwanso also will be involved in the merger? Kwakwanso of NNPP will be involved in the merger?
He has no alternative. He's nobody outside the Kanu state. Understand me? Kwakwanso is nobody outside the Kanu state. Kwakwanso cannot win a single vote in the south, southeast, southwest.
Okay, let's take the last story. We're behind time because we're going to be opening the phone line soon. And the number to call in is 0700 903 903 903. Don't forget we're streaming live on YouTube. You can see all our faces. Just head over to our YouTube page at VOP 90.3 Live, FM Live. So you drop your comments. I'm going to be taking them shortly. And on WhatsApp, 0817 175 6338. Now let's take the last story. Media mogul and DSS officers escape near fatal encounter with soldiers in Anambra. A Lagos-based media mogul and 3 Department of State Services DSS officers narrowly escaped a deadly encounter with soldiers on patrol along the Idemili Nobi Road in Anambra State. The incident occurred as they were en route to Asaba Airport following the Christmas holidays. The group was stopped and accused of resembling kidnappers, with soldiers forcing them to lie on the road at gunpoint. Despite presenting their DSS their identification cards, the soldiers dismissed them as fake and continued to manhandle the team. The ordeal ended only with the intervention of the patrol leader, who listened to their pleas and allowed them to leave unharmed. The shaken media executive described this encounter as a near-death experience, highlighting the danger civilians face in the southeast. He expressed concern over the frequent killings of innocent people by security forces in the region, calling for greater oversight to prevent similar incidents. What do you have to say about this?
Well, it is one of the many things that are happening in the southeast. Just one of the many things. And why we are able to hear this is because of the personality involved. This is important because of the personality involved, because he has a media behind him. Understand? And this also goes to that to show you that a lot of the people that are being killed in the southeast and the chief of army staff should take seriously this case. The chief of defense staff should look seriously into this and mind the kind of soldiers they are sending to the southeast, because they are not going there to provide security. They are going there to add to the mayhem, to the destruction in the southeast. So this thing shouldn't be just swept under the carpet. There must be a very serious investigation. There must be a very serious investigation. They should know the kind of soldiers that are sending to the south to protect other people. Rather, they are going to add to the killing of the southeasterners.
So let's talk about identification of protocols of the DSS. Now, how can security agencies improve the verification process for official identification to avoid situations like where legitimate DSS officers or civilians are disregarded or accused of forgery?
Security agencies should have some form of communication, some form of signals. Understand me? Because a security agent can easily disguise himself. So if a DSS man disguise himself and there's no way of communicating with a soldier, which means you kill him. So they should have a form of signal, form of communication that will be known to only them, and not just an ID card.
So let's talk about the impact on civil-military relations. What step can be implemented to rebuild public trust and ensure that security operations in volatile regions like the southeast prioritize the safety and rights of innocent citizens?
The number one responsibility of government is the protection of life and property. And any government that fails on this has failed on every other thing, because government is about the people. Even though you are a soldier, you must have compassion, because you must not destroy what you cannot bring into being. Understand me? So if minus the intervention of the head of patrol, who is probably educated, they will have killed those people. They will have killed those people. Understand me? So that's why I'm calling on the chief of the defense staff, on the chief of army staff, to investigate this matter and the activities of the soldiers in the southeast, because they are doing more harm than good. The soldiers in the southeast are doing far more harm than good.
So we're calling on the Inspector General, we're calling on them, the IGP, to look at the situation where innocent civilians are mistaken for criminals and subjected to a life-threatening treatment. 90.3 Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. You're still listening to the recap, and I'm going to be opening the phone lines just a moment. Of course, you can do WhatsApp call or a chat line, 0817-175-6338. And we're streaming live on YouTube, over to our YouTube page, and leave your comments there. I'm going to be taking a few comments on the YouTube page. Now, let's start with YouTube, actually. Ola Adewale says, are those leading the country lying to Nigerians? But when will they come clean? And how? And and who will compel them to open up? I take that again. Are those leading the country lying to Nigerians? That's from Ola Adewale. And it further put up there that, do we deserve the dubiousness of this current regime, despite out loud mouth? Even the number opposition leader cautioned. Abi, he also said it made a lot of it left a lot of comments here. It said, God help us jail our corrupt politicians, bandits, and could that be one of the reasons for 100 days fasting, despite all the mismanagement resources? Pa Adeboye. Okay, he also further wrote that, Pastor EFCC, please expose the unclean professionals in your organization, because for he or she who comes into equity must come with clean hands, Mr. Chairman EFCC. So we have a lot of comments there from Olawale. Said, does it mean Nigeria is a weapon fashioned against its people? But how come we are so divided by religion and tribe? But why not humans first? He also said, if a liar fails to realize he or she is deceptive, but how about those being lied to? Judges lies, king lie, leadership lies, Nigerians deceptive to another, and we all seek progress. Let's talk about what this particular comment, where he said the leadership lies, the king lies, the judges lie, even Nigerians are deceptive towards one another.
There's when you tell the propaganda minister of Adolf Hitler, Joseph Goebbels, say if you tell a lie, make it big, repeat it often, everybody will believe it. Even you that is telling that, understand, even you that stated the truth at a point in time, believe that it is true. Do you understand that? When lies become part of you, understand, you that is lying will now feel that it is the truth. So it is what is happening that's at this point in time in the country. So lie has become a policy of government. So it has gone everywhere.
Okay, let's head over to WhatsApp. Like I said, the WhatsApp call or chat line is 0817-175-6338. You are still on the recap, and you're hanging out with Amina and Mr. Anosike. Now, this is good evening, Mr. Anosike, my journalist of the year, and Amina, good evening. There is a saying by beautiful Nubia: the true test of a leader is to lead right in front and be responsible when things go wrong. Leaders is for action and not excuses. A true leader should listen to the people and change the obnoxious policies he created that has turned the people to beggars and almejiri in the midst of plenty. In the midst of plenty, people's dignity was trampled upon. Rather, he was justifying its case study stampede that happened in Oyo, Anambra, and Abuja, where over 70 were killed. That is why we are in this nightmare. That means what your president said in Ghana is based on falsehood and propaganda. Is not practicing what he's preaching. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dayo from Fagba. Dayo, thank you so much for that. Good evening, Sir Peter Anosike and Sis Aisha. Amina, not Aisha, thank you. Happy weekend to you both. Honorable Mr. Peter Obi and the Obedient families needs a merger to ooze this vampire administration. Bayo Ononuga started this ethnicity bigotry, and since is now since he's now in Aso Rock, he should endeavor to give the Igbos their nation. But Almighty God has a way of dealing with anyone that causes discord among brothers in all this Nigeria. Igbo word is all political undertone, according to Showore, Grandma Maggie Odibo from Oshodi. So what do you have to say this? I think this statement this person made about he should endeavor to give the Igbos their nation. What does he mean by that?
It's not within his power. Let's move on.
Okay, this one says Mr. Anosike should refrain from making unverified claims. How do you know that? As an VOP. Okay, we actually are providing substantial information. We need to promote unity in this country, and responsible communication is essential to achieving this goal. Of course, we're doing that. It says the rising ethnic tension and hatred some people are promoting between Yorubas and Igbos have alarming implications for our future. If left unchecked, these divisive rhetoric can escalate into significant problems, undermine national unity and cohesion. Abidin from Bagada. That was good. The other one, Abidin, should be rephrased. Thank you so much on that. This one says, okay. Good evening. So the Yorubas aren't bothered about the ability or capacity of the candidate. They are only interested in the state of origin of the wife of the candidate. This is sad. The surprising thing is that even the literate ones also buy the same idea. Nigeria can't move forward with this kind of mindset. Good evening, Amina and Mr. Anosike. Good evening. Harry from Ekbeda. Thank you. Labour Party, Peter Obi, failure. If they at Labour Party cannot acknowledge the part played by Obi, shows that they don't want to succeed in the next election. Any policy that leaves the armed men called herdsmen is a failure from the beginning. Thank you so much for that. Good evening. Greetings to you, Amina and Mr. Anosike. The issue of tribal sentiment is soaring high. What's up call? We have a call. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. And Amina.
Good afternoon. What's your name and where you calling us from?
So, okay. Well, this is calling from Spain.
What did you call your name again?
Is Nnamdi calling?
Nnamdi calling from Spain.
Hello?
From Spain.
Okay. You can go ahead. Good evening. Hello.
Hello,
we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine.
Okay, how is it that?
Only that the network is not friendly.
Oh yes, but we can manage. We can hear ourselves for now. Okay, go ahead, please. Mr. Anosike is listening.
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, please, I'm gonna.
Hello?
Okay, hello. Hello, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I want to touch on this some issues. This Shehu Sani.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Criticizing the North.
Okay.
Criticizing the North. No, though the country have been like that, and I remember Jonathan. Though that was not Western every time criticizing Jonathan, any step he make. If anybody criticizing Jonathan, they will just promote him, try to discompensate him with something. You know?
Rotimi Akeredolu's wife. The reason why people are complaining is because of the issue of the woman. There must have been things that the woman.
That's whatever. Understand?
Oh, okay.
But P2B did not marry an Igbo woman. And when they were voting for him, they never thought about his wife.
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clear and loud. What's your name, please?
Okay, this is Joe. Mr. Peter.
Okay, thank you for calling back, Jovel.
Good evening.
I hope you're doing great, sir.
He is.
Yeah, Amina.
Okay.
How are you? And God this nation.
Jovel, please make it quick, please. We don't have to. Oh, okay. This is why I said you should make it quick. Are you there, Jovel? It keeps calling back again and again, and it's not making it quick. So here I take some of the chats on WhatsApp. Amina, with Obi, you can see difference between leaders and rulers, dictator, brilliant minds, and low-grade minds, visions and visionless people, data-based and excuse makers, conservative and wasteful people. He would have been president if the cash and carry INEC and judiciary has done its homework well. That is why it is important to attend debate to check level of capacity and competency. None of these things will be stated this government will do. But abuse will be expecting this government to work is like expecting a blind man to lead you to cross an expressway full of fast cars. You know, it's suicide mission, of course. Yeah, you can't give what you don't have. Let your president attend interview by Christian Amanpour, okay, or another press medium, not by your Onanuga guided interview that will ask the critical question. As usual, it will miss. Okay, it was a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Dayo Fagba. Hello. Okay, Joval, please do try again. If you can't call, please drop your chat. I would definitely take that. Nigeria's major challenge lies in the lack of sincerity across various sectors, including politicians prioritizing personal interest over national progress, judiciary compromised integrity and inconsistent rulings. Is listing them according to the challenges we have. It started a report. Number 1, politicians prioritizing personal interest over national progress. Number 2, judiciary compromised integrity and inconsistent rulings. 3, public affairs commentators, biased analysts and hidden agendas. 4, ordinary Nigerians, apathy and short-term thinking. It's high time we come together and fight our common enemies. And who is that common enemies? Let's be clear with our communication. Thank you. Abidin from Fagba. Good evening. So the Yorubas aren't bothered about the ability or capacity of the candidate. They are only interested in the state of origin of the wife of the candidate. This is sad. The surprising thing is that even the literate ones also buy the same idea. Nigeria can't move forward with this kind of mindset. Or Sazi from Igodo, 90.3 FM, VOP 90.3 FM. You're still listening to the recap. And I am not doing it here alone. I am Amina Ojelabi and I have Mr. Peter Anosiki. And we have looked at some major issues making headlines. And I'll just go through them again in case you're just joining. The show and you don't have idea what we're talking about. We took some major stories that have made headlines. Shore blasts Tinubu for mismanaging Nigeria's resources. Shore says worse than before. No moral right to reject Tinubu in 2027, says Shehu Sani to Northerners. Now, we took another one that says federal government fails to crash food prices 180 days after making promise. Southwest movement gains momentum against non-Yoruba First Lady. And this one says, we can win 2027 election without merger, says the Labour Party. And we also took media mogul and DSS officers escape near fatal encounter with soldiers in Anambra State. Those are the topics that we have talked so far. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from? Please, Miss or Miss Mandred, I could see your name on your WhatsApp. Please do call again. I think it's a network interference. Good evening. So I've taken that. Greetings to you, Amina and Mr. Anosiki. This issue of tribal sentiment is soaring high now, and it's going to create a serious problem in the country. If the country is to be continue as one, this matter must be addressed squarely. Thanks, Daniel from Ushudi. Thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, FCM overcomes. How can a woman be in control in a relationship? For a woman to have a full control on a man is okay. Amina, Nigerian are the most hardworking people in the world. Very resourceful. Let me pick. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. What a day. What a day. Okay, but keep on trying to call. I mean, Nigerian are the most hardworking people in the world, very resourceful. That we have, what we have is lack of capacity, low grade mind, wasteful visionless taskmasters, opportunists that entered through cash and carry INEC and judiciary. You can see from their actions and statements that they're there to serve, but to loot and tax you and turn the people to beggars and almejiri in the midst of plenty. They belly full while you are hungry. They laugh at your poverty while they tell you to tighten your belt and endure the pain while they live in luxury. Nigerians should brace up for tougher days ahead. No hope from this from this government. It is a shame. It's a shame. The worst of us is ruling the best of worst. The best of us. Dayo from Fagba. Thank you so much, Dayo, from Fagba. Okay, you can head over to our YouTube. I'm going to be taking few on chat on the YouTube. Ola Adewale says solutions are at the fingertips of leaders, but lacked the moral zeal to actuate actions. Period. Greetings, Amina from Atlanta, the Peach State. Oh, great. All right, keep your calls coming. I'm still going to be picking them. We have less than 20 minutes on the program. Like now, Mr. Anosike, let's go back to talk about this issue of merger with Peter Obi forming an alliance with now. Well, there was sometimes last year that Peter Obi had a dinner with Atiku, and
Peter Obi did what?
Peter Obi, Atiku went over to visit Atiku in his hometown, where they had a dinner, and people were making assumptions that
that should be in December.
It was that's last year, and people were saying that there's been talks about Peter Obi with Atiku. Do you ever see Peter Obi and Atiku coming together again?
Well, we are told that never say never. So I cannot say that it is not possible. But the truth is that Peter Obi has not told anybody that he is running in 2027. We should be very, very clear on this. Peter Obi said that he can enter a merger if it's for the interest, for the good of Nigerians, and not just to capture power.
So if Peter Obi is entering, do we believe is going to get the presidential ticket seat, or still the same vice president?
The issue is this. There should be merger first before deciding who becomes what. But as I said, P2B has not told anybody that he is running in 2027. But he said that he can enter a merger if it is for the good of Nigerians and not just to capture power.
Looking at all of the ex-presidential nominees, candidates in 2023, who is likely to have a merger with Peter Obi in the next coming election?
I'm not in their mind. I don't know them. I have no business with them. Understand me? I don't know them. And for me, I don't know them. And for me,
do we think that a new candidate is going to just erupt from somewhere? And
why this P2B and P2B? P2B has his spokespeople. I'm not P2B's.
Okay.
We are just analyzing.
We are analyzing actually with what we have seen so far on X, on social media, and on the news. That's why, and with past occurrences, that's why we're actually discussing this. If likely, what can we see ahead in the future in 2027? That's why I asked you.
Okay, and I said that one, P2B has not declared for 2027
presidential seat.
He has not done that.
Okay.
So whatever is going on is speculation. And the P2B said that if he is to run and there's to be a merger, that it should be for the interest of Nigerians, for a better Nigeria, and not just to capture power. In 2014, ANPP, led by Ibrahim Shakarau and Oboneonu at that time, CPC, ACN, and the faction of ABGA and New PDP came together to capture power.
Hello, good evening, Jovel.
Can you hear me now?
Please, let's make it fast. We don't want the network to interrupt this conversation.
Nigerians must find a way to go off tribalism. I don't know how we got to the stage where the issue of where she's somebody from Ethiopia in those states. Did the people quarrel about?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Adam Soshomole married from Ethiopia. She was the first lady in Edo State. Heavens did not fall. Nigerians should concentrate. Forget about this issue of where the woman is. Like Mr. Peter kept saying, P2B's wife is from Akwa Ibom. This man who was the Senate president, his wife is from Enugu State. Is there any problem where women come from? Why are we like this in this nation? We should get going. We should concentrate. Until we leave this tribalistic and ethnocentrism, this country will not move forward. Nigerians should learn that. Instead of, that's why we are saying, replace this state of origin with state of residence, and Nigeria will be on its way better.
Thank you so much, Joval, I'm sorry to cut you, but thank you so much. We eventually took your call. Now, there is this news that broke yesterday. Sunday Igboho said, Yoruba, Igbos, others should separate if Nigeria isn't working. Now, let me dive a little bit into that news. Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, has said many Nigerians are no longer proud to identify themselves as citizens of the West African nation. In a video was spotted in the United Kingdom, he said corruption, insecurity, and a bad economy are the reason country. He also stated that various ethnic nationalities should be allowed to go their separate ways if the country cannot function as a unified country. What do you have to say about that?
Amina, will you continue to do something that is not working? You as a human being, will you continue to do something that is not working? Will you? Yes or no?
It actually depends on my gain. I will keep trying.
If something is not working, you are not gaining anything because it is not working. Understand me? So, but mind you, He did not call for the dissolution of Nigeria. He said, if it is not working. So that if is a very big word. Understand? And I agree with him. If Nigeria cannot work, let everybody go their own separate ways. That's if Nigeria cannot work. And Sunday Igboho is not saying it because he is happy. He's saying it out of frustration. Understand me? Everybody will be proud to be called a Nigerian if Nigeria is working. Everybody will be proud to be called, because in every part of the world, Nigerians are making waves. But here in Nigeria is fending. So this separationists or whatever name you choose that to call them, they are not happy making this call. It's just because Nigeria is not, we are not getting the dream of being Nigerians. Understand? But I still believe we are better off in Nigeria than going our separate ways. That's my own belief. I don't know for other people. I believe that Southeast is better in Nigeria than being an independent nation. I believe that Southwest is better in Nigeria than being an independent nation. Now, you have talked about people who have married each other. Understand? I don't need to be from Enugu looking for a visa to come to Benin or to come to Oyo. Understand me? Which I can just enter a bus or a car and come straight. So we are better off together. But we don't have the leaders that can harness our opportunities. So the problem that we have in Nigeria is not that we are the country is so big or that the population is so big. The problem is leadership. We don't have the leaders that can galvanize our ethnicity, our differences, our population, and turn it into productivity. China was able to turn their population into productivity. That's why they are the second biggest economy in the world.
Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening. Hi.
Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Peter Musike.
Thank you so much.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Mas Akajata from.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Talk about the merger of team.
Yeah, you can.
Before we talk about merger, there is one question we need to ask ourselves. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go
the
ahead.
The question is this: is our electoral system working before merger become the last option for someone to win election? The question is our electoral system working? Our electoral system is not working. Even if you merge America, Ethiopia, all the rest together with this same system we are running today, nothing we will not achieve anything. You see, we need to restructure our electoral system. We need to restructure INEC. We need to restructure our an independent electoral system, an independent judiciary. You understand me? Because we're not talking about this. And mind you, that we have in Nigeria is a gang, not party.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch you there. The network did, and I was really into that conversation because I really wanted to know where you landed. But you could drop that in the chat, on the WhatsApp chat, 0817-175-6338. I'll take a few more calls before we round up on that show. And this on WhatsApp says, I always laugh in an unfunny way when people say replace state of origin with state of residence. Would that stop Oluomo, Bayo, Ononuga and Co from saying what they said? A woman putting on a male cloth does that change her? Sorry. Does that change her from being a woman? Please, people should perish that talk. It's baseless and lacks weight. As for Sunday Igbo, it's just saying what some of us have been saying. Nigeria is not working, but people who love self-denial would say otherwise. Let everyone go their separate ways and develop or retrogress. Okay, somebody just said what you said. And good evening, VOP. Peter Obi always finds a way in getting public sympathy through his speech, as if he's a saint and only past presidential candidate that lost election. He sees every opportunity to be making himself relevant in politics. I pray he doesn't decamp to another party come 2027. He should learn from Tinubu, who risked his life to oppose both the military and PDP for many years. All these Obi recruited soldiers will never see nothing good in anyone unless they are P-Master Emmanuel. Good evening, beautiful Nubia. Oh, who is this beautiful Nubia in a song? Okay, during Obafemi Awolowo's era, Nigeria's regional development government structure facilitated significant development. However, since the forced amalgamation in 1914, the country's development rate has been sluggish. It's crucial we learn from history and make informed decisions to drive our nation forward. Embracing wisdom in governance is essential. It's what will allow Nigerians to truly benefit from democracy. Then it's an option worth considering. Abidin. Thank you for that. Good evening, VOPers. I want to let us know that Nigeria will never work. Coming together is by force. Marriage and by force marriage cannot work. Let everybody go their separate ways. Thanks from Melody in Festac. This one also say, good evening, guys, in the studio. For the first time, Peter Anasike had said it's the way it is. We're better as one. Or better as one. What we like is good, then bad. Thank you so much for calling back.
I want to say something on that.
Okay.
Right now we don't have a credible electoral body. So using that, I don't want to say INEC, because that idea is a deception. It is not independent. Understand? It is subjective. So we don't have a credible electoral body. But there's an election that nobody can rig. Understand? Assuming that in the United States, assuming that the election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump was a tight election, the Democrats would have rigged it. But it was too big to rig. So it is not every election that you can rig. Understand? If Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, Atiku Abubakar come together, it will be too big for whoever is INEC chairman to rig.
Like thieves collect. That's what he's trying to say. I'm not really good at Yoruba, sorry. But Mr. Anosike, because this is how it looks to me and many others. Doing same severally and expecting a different result is where in my judgment, Miss Amina, please be clearer with your chats or communication. Thank you so much. We're going to be wrapping up because the news, the world news is coming up at 6 p.m. You're still listening to the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. And I have been driving you on this beautiful journey on the recap since 4 o'clock and about to draw the curtain. And I'm not here just doing it alone. I am with Mr. Anosike, and we have been talking, and thank you for your contributions. Mr. Anosike, do you have any summary of the news that we have said so far?
2025 is going to be a good year for us.
Amen. All right, VOP, Voice of the People, 90.3. All right, VOP, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. So I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that next week. Or you have your face. Choma Innocence is going to be here. And you see this face on VOP TV. All you have to do is also head to our sister station TV, VOP TV Live. So that's where I also continue the conversation over there. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your contribution. And have a good evening and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you.